Letby is guilty or innocent, and one of the main reasons people are unsure is because of the evidence and the fact that nobody saw her commit any crime. However, that doesn't mean that the evidence can be ignored, and I strongly suggest people read the trial documents if people are wondering why she got a conviction in the first place. Obviously, the main part is how she was present for all of the deaths and attempts that she was charged with. She was either the nurse looking after the children, or she was around at the time and found them in their deteriorating circumstances. And some of these occurred while the designated nurse had left the room or was on their break. She just happened to be there. Many people debate the medical evidence against her, but the defence had the chance to bring in their own medical experts and witnesses, or anyone supporting her, and this never happened. The only people testifying were Lucy herself and a plumber who had said that there were issues with sewage in the water at the hospital. When she started working at the hospital, the death rate suddenly increased and there was a sudden wind of collapses of children. While this can happen, these deaths were occurring within weeks and months of each other, and they were all happening in similar circumstances. And weirdly, all of the babies were checked before and found to be in stable condition, and some of the incidents even occurred on twins and triplets, so one of them would decline and then hours later the other one would. Again, in the same circumstances. Whilst these were happening, she was fixated on being involved with the events in the unit, and she also involved herself unnecessarily, even when the infants had been assigned to other nurses. It was also stated that she had falsified records to hide her activities, and you can't ignore the Facebook searching. After the babies died, she would go and look up the parents several times and text about it to her colleagues. She would also write it in her journal with the dates of the deaths. One family had to ask her to leave the room because she would just be lingering around where parents were grieving. There's been many debates about the air embolism, which was the cause of many of the deaths, and Lucy was one of the people who actually brought this up initially as the idea for the deaths. And because it's very rare, people do not actually know a lot about it. It was only by ruling out other causes that they came to this conclusion, because someone has to physically put the air into the medical equipment. But that wasn't the only tactic being used. It's believed she was switching up these methods so that she didn't get caught, and they could come across as general medical explanations. But at one point, she even blamed one of the nurses for overfeeding one of the babies. There doesn't have to be hard, solid evidence to prove she has committed these crimes. As the judge stated, there was evidence that babies were harmed in the same way. Whether it was intentional or mistakenly is another debate, but there was so much evidence to suggest something was going on. And regardless, she should be held accountable for